Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on over on Twitter. Can't see me again. I'll just enter in my passcode. Let's talk about it. Now, before we get started, I want to send a huge shout out to Unbox for sponsoring today's video. Now, if you guys don't know what Unbox is, then you guys are missing out, because Unbox is the home of the top tech creators here on YouTube. It is also a place where you guys can go and see our latest videos on tech products and even purchase directly from us as creators on our personal profile pages. Like mine, for example, where it pulls in all of the products mentioned from my videos and organizes it for you guys to be able to check them out. Now, this is a dope site to me and is where I personally go to see the top tech trends in the tech community as well. So make sure you guys go check them out. I'll have a link to their website in the description below. Hey, what's up guys, CKid here, welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be discussing using Face ID versus using Touch ID when it comes to smartphones. And I just want to sit and talk with you guys real quick about which one that I would personally prefer to use and see on smartphones now as well as in the future. And stay tuned to the end of this video, because I'm going to be revealing to you guys the results of what you guys personally said that you wanted to see over one another, because I ran a poll over on Instagram as well as Twitter, so I have those results and I will be sharing those with you. Now, before we go ahead and get too deep into this, I just want to start off by saying I personally love the direction of what companies like Apple as well as Samsung are doing with their devices with facial recognition as well as fingerprint authentication. But for some reason it seemed like Face ID worked great in the beginning on my iPhone, but for some reason it doesn't work as great anymore, and I always find myself reverting back to using the passcode and entering that in, or switching over to my Galaxy Note 9 here to be able to use the fingerprint authentication, or something like my Pixel 3 XL. Now, you guys all know that I love Samsung, I love Google, I love Apple products. I have my iMac that's right here behind me that I work off of creatively. I have my iPhone XS Max, I have my Galaxy Note 9, I have my Pixel 3 XL that I've all used to get B-roll footage from here on the channel. But there's some things we just got to talk about that is just not perfect, and that is facial recognition. Now, not to be so long-winded, but the short answer to this topic of which one that I would prefer to use over Touch ID and facial recognition is that I would personally like to use Touch ID or some form of fingerprint authentication, because it just seems to work better, and let me tell you why. Now, I'm mainly going to be talking from the perspective of the iPhone XS Max, because phones like the Note 9 gives users the option to either use facial recognition software or fingerprint authentication, which is something that I personally love, but I really dislike about the iPhone XS Max. So when I first picked up my iPhone XS Max, guys, I was hyped. Now, I had the option to use Face ID for the first time on an Apple device to unlock my device, access login credentials using it, authenticating Apple Pay services. It was perfect, it was great, worked just fine. But as time went on and having this phone for a couple months now, I truly do not like it for unlocking my device, and I can't stand having to enter in a passcode either. Both of these processes seem to take too much time to get into my device. So the issue that I have with this is using Face ID to unlock my device is that if it cannot authenticate your face the first time around, it does not try again. Now, I've heard other people say that it does try it twice, but on my personal device that I've been seeing, it only tries it one time when trying to unlock my device. And that is a problem, because then I have to lock it and then I have to reopen it in order for it to try it again in order to see my face to unlock my device. Now, don't get me wrong, as I don't want to come off as sounding like I'm hating or anything like that, but I just feel like it is a dope concept, but I just feel like it still has a bit of a ways to go before I can say that I love Face ID as a feature. Now, with using Touch ID, it worked quickly on my devices like this Note 9 here, the Pixel 3 XL, G3, as even on my iPhone 6 Plus when I used it, it also worked great. Now, I understand that Apple wanted to go the full screen route and the larger screen, but maybe giving us something like an in-screen reader like the OnePlus 6T, or just placing the reader on the back of the device like some of the other phone manufacturers, I think that would have been the better option, rather than just completely getting rid of fingerprinting authentication altogether on the iPhone. Now, another thing that I noticed about using Face ID on the iPhone is that it seems to work differently when I'm using it for login credentials or using it for Apple Pay services, etc. I mean, it just seems to work perfectly the first time around, but for some reason it does not keep that same energy when it comes to unlocking my device, which is actually kind of weird. So Apple, if you guys are out there listening or watching this video, please work on getting that better, because I love the concept. It's just a bit of annoying of the inconsistency of using it when the prices of these devices are not cheap. And honestly, I would love it if you guys could somehow give us that Touch ID back, because it was something that was implemented on the iPhone that worked great, that was taken away. It's kind of like a starter on a sports team losing their spot to another player when that previous player that was the starter was leading the team in that position, if that made sense. So guys, as promised, I really want to show you guys real quick which feature you all personally said that you guys would prefer to use that I gathered from polls over on Instagram as well as Twitter. And from the looks of it, you guys also prefer fingerprint authentication over facial recognition. So it's actually good to see that I'm not alone in these thoughts about facial recognition and it not really working up to par like they said it does. But you know, fingerprinting seems to be the way to go. Well guys, that about wraps up this video here. Go ahead and let me know in the comments section below, which one would you guys prefer to use on a smartphone? Is it facial recognition or fingerprint authentication? If you guys enjoyed today's video, go ahead and smash that like button, share this video to get others' opinions on this topic. Also, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to be a part of that C Squad. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.